Greetings. Thought I would chat with you following another really intense workout this morning. I'm in week 11, I believe it is, of Peaks Challenge training out of 16. It means there's like 4 or 5 weeks left until the event. It's come by so quickly. And I only bulge my eyes out because I'm just getting a bit more nervous about the event. How's training going in general? I don't know how training's going in general. I know. What I do know is that I've been very committed to the training. I have not missed a day's session according to the schedule. And that's all I know for sure, the facts. According to my Strava segments, I have been getting PRs on a lot of routes that I repeat and are doing longer distances and longer times. So other people who are watching my Strava say that I'm doing really great, and that's really encouraging. And I thank you for the motivation that you give me and saying, good job, well done, all that stuff. But I honestly don't know how my training's going. Is it enough? Is it going to be effective on the ride, on the day of the event? I won't know until I do the event, right? So I feel good. I feel a lot stronger and more confident on the bike, and that's thanks to all this training I've been doing. I've even lost a few kilos, which is great. But again, is it enough? And I can't remember what the formula is. Maybe if you know what it is, please leave it. Tell me in the comments below. But I think it's for every kilo you lose, you gain 4 minutes off your climbing, or is it every 4 kilos you lose, you gain 1 minute less of climbing? I can't remember, but maybe you know. Tell me what the formula is. Anyway, I feel well. I just don't know if it's enough, and I won't know until the day of, which is about 4 or 5 weeks away. This week in particular is recovery week, so I'm not on my bike as much. And when I am on the bike, it's just shorter workouts, minus this morning. It was under an hour workout, but intense. So that's my only big midweek training regime this week. That being said though, this weekend is a big weekend for me. The event organizers, Bicycle Network Australia, have put together a training camp weekend where participants of the event, whether you're new to it or have done it in the past, you get the opportunity to come out to the peaks and just do training rides as a group, as a collective. Just get a feel of what the actual road conditions are going to be like, what the route would feel like, what the climbs are going to feel like. And yes, I've been to that area one other time before on my own and just climbed Mount Hotham. Check out that video. But this time I'm going to climb 3 of the peaks. I should say 2, and then there's a third, but that's not part of the route. So we're climbing Mount Buffalo, which is not part of the route of the event, but it's one of the peaks in the area, and it's gorgeous. Then we climb Falls Creek and Mount Beauty, which is in the same route. And then the third day we climb Mount Hotham. So in total, we're going to do about 300 kilometers distance of cycling and covering about just under 4,000 meters of elevation. So I'm really looking forward to this weekend, but I'm also quite nervous. The reasons I'm nervous are good because, as I've said, facing my fears is one of the main reasons why I'm doing the Peaks Challenge event, just to overcome them. Let's break down what my particular fears are about. So first fear is that I won't be able to keep up with the group. I haven't done lots of group riding throughout my training. Mostly I'm out on my own. Just because I'm self-conscious of my pace. I'm not the fastest cyclist, I'm not the strongest cyclist, but that's why I'm doing the training, so that I can become a better cyclist, a stronger cyclist, more confident on the bike, maneuvering the bike a bit faster if that happens, which it has. But yeah, so group riding makes me a bit nervous. I know I'll be at the back of the pack, I have to just accept that. And I'd actually rather be at the back of the pack, but I just don't want to hold anybody back. Number 2 fear is I don't know if in my training I've done enough climbing throughout my rides. So I am nervous of conquering the amount of elevation, particularly back-to-back big rides 3 days in a row. How's that gonna feel? How am I gonna do? Yeah, particularly how does that feel? My legs, I think, are gonna probably feel like they're gonna wanna flop off, but maybe not. I mean, I've done other training rides throughout this plan, and I thought I would feel so knackered because, you know, I'm out for like 6 hours, for example, and I did lots of climbing. I think I did like one 6 hour ride and I climbed like 1,500 meters of elevation, and it actually wasn't too bad. I mean, yes, I felt tired, like I felt like I worked out, but I wasn't completely smashed, and that was good. It's a good feeling. Number 3, and this is something I absolutely cannot control, but I've been watching very closely the weather forecast, and it looks like it's gonna bucket down with rain, particularly Friday and most of Saturday. So Friday we're expecting 25 to 60 millimeters of rain. So I haven't done, again, a lot of riding in the rain throughout my training so far. I have done some, and when it was raining, it was like showery. It wasn't anything like buckets, and I think this weekend with 25 to 60 millimeters predicted of rainfall, it's gonna be buckets. So I cannot control the weather, but what I can control about it is my preparation. So what I did is I have no wet weather gear, I realized. So I went out and bought myself a new rain jacket. The other thing I didn't have were these booties, as they call them. So these rubbery things, booties, slip over your cycling shoes, but it really protects your shoes and socks from getting wet. I just know I need this stuff for this weekend. It's the only thing I can control. So I've done that, my preparation. And like I said, that's about all I can do. So it's about knowing what you can control and dealing with that, and then accepting the things you cannot control and dealing with that. The other thing about the wet weather, yeah, how is the rain gonna impact my skills that I've been working on, particularly my descending skills? I've been working really hard on applying the things that I learned in the descending workshop. You know, the road conditions under wet weather are gonna be slippery, and I'm really nervous about descending. What's that gonna be like? What I'm gonna do for myself is meditate for the rest of this week about the thoughts of, I'm there to learn as much information as I can about the event, about skills that I could apply in my training for the rest of the time, as well as at the event, and just learn about everything in cycling, the things I don't know still. I'm there to meet other participants and just know that we're all in this together. We're all gonna support each other and get through the event as best we can. We're gonna push each other through. We're gonna pull each other through. However we do it, we're all there collectively to conquer this endurance event. The last thing, which is great advice that my husband gave me earlier this week, is remember, it is a training camp. Therefore, I paid my way into it because they're providing me a service. And so I've paid them to keep me and all of our participants safe. And I hope and expect that they would be sensible to know if the weather conditions are too rough, that they won't put us in dangerous situations. So I've just got to trust these strangers, which is hard to do, trusting strangers. You know, with that being said too, I need to speak up when I need help and just say, I'm not comfortable. Can you tell me how I can get comfortable? But also know what my limitations are. If I'm not comfortable, it's okay to say, I've had enough. How am I feeling at the moment? You know, talking this over with you, yeah, gets me a bit more nervous about the weekend, but you just never know. Maybe it'll be a really awesome weekend too. Maybe now, because I have all my wet weather gear, the weather's gonna clear up and turns out I don't need that gear, but it's better to have it. because I'll certainly use it in the future. Let's see what happens.